Hey gang, Rod McKinnis, Partner and Director of Sales, Research-Based Solutions, back in the Sales Lab with today's RBS Sales Minute. So I wanted to talk to you today about actually two different conversations I had with managers recently. I had one manager who is in the process of working with his team. He's having a little bit of frustration because the team is not necessarily performing to the targets that they're responsible for. Yet on the other end of the spectrum, I have another manager, new manager to a new team, just inherited a new team, has some new hires on his team. He identifies a lot of potential on that team, and he's leading them a different way. So here's what's going on. The manager that's frustrated, he's frustrated because the team is not responding to his coaching. In other words, when the targets were shared with him, he distributed them evenly across the board to all his team members, and now he's coaching each and every one of them to achieve the target that they are now responsible for. And when I was listening to him talk and hearing the frustration in his voice, it brought back a lot of memories for me, because I was that manager way back in the day. I was that manager that would take a target, distribute it, and then try to coach to it accordingly. And it did become frustrating, because what happens is when you do that as a manager and as a leader, it essentially imposes something, a goal on the person that may not necessarily be committed to it. In other words, they'll work to achieve the target that's imposed upon them. However, they're going to operate out of obedience to do it. And what leads to the frustration is because they're operating out of obedience, sometimes it feels like you have to pull teeth to get them to do what's necessary to achieve that particular target. And so I shared with him what I learned that helped me alleviate that frustration, which brings me to the second conversation. The second manager is doing it a different way. Essentially, what he's done is, instead of distributing the company-imposed target to everybody evenly, he's sitting down and having a goal-based conversation with everyone. And he's identifying exactly what it is that they want to accomplish. And based on how they respond to that conversation, they then go to the comp plan, which is completely uncapped, and they start talking about how or what levels of performance they need to perform at in order to achieve the desired goal that they had. And so that's the exact same approach that I learned when I was a manager to help alleviate that frustration. And really, the concept doesn't change from being a frontline salesperson. Top performing frontline salespeople know this concept to be true. When it comes down to achieving a high level of performance on a consistent and sustainable basis, it comes down to basically three things: sales, service, and satisfaction. Sales, service, and satisfaction. As a top performing salesperson and you have a good product or service to sell, when you talk to people about your product or service, you got to lead with a goal-based conversation. Find out exactly what it is that they're trying to accomplish, and then show how your product and or service can help them accomplish that goal. And then as you bring them on as customers, you service them, that's only going to lead to their satisfaction and perhaps even more business. And so my encouragement to all of us that may be in sales leadership positions and having some frustration in that position, this is what I want you to understand. The concept doesn't change. In other words, chances are you got the opportunity to get into a sales leadership position because you demonstrated your ability to be successful at a frontline sales level. What I want you to remember is, remember who your customers are. If you're managing a number of managers, those are your customers. And we have to lead with a goal-based conversation and identify what it is that they're trying to accomplish, and then show them through your process, through your strategy, how they can accomplish that goal that they want to achieve. If you can get them operating towards a goal that they're trying to achieve, they're going to operate towards that goal out of commitment, not obedience. And that's the biggest difference. However, we got to understand what it is they're trying to accomplish. So I'm going to encourage all of you, if you're not doing this already, first and foremost, here's a homework assignment. We got to identify the goals of your people. Have that goal-based conversation with them and understand what it is they're trying to accomplish. And then show them through the performance levels what needs to be obtained, what level they need to perform at in order to achieve that goal. If you do that, it's going to alleviate the frustration. You're going to find yourself unlocking the full potential of that particular sales manager and the team beneath. So remember, when it comes down to really working with your management team, your mid-level managers, it's all about sales, service, and satisfaction. You got to have that goal-based conversation. That's all sales is about, helping them understand what it is they're trying to accomplish and then showing how you can help them get there. That's really about influencing that behavior. Then you got to service them. You got to make sure that they're progressing towards that particular goal. As you do that, that's going to lead to their satisfaction, which is going to become a win-win-win all the way around. All right. If you need help and you want some insight on some of the behaviors of your people, please go to our website, researchbasedsolutions.com. Take our free CGEI assessment. It's a great tool. It's a great tool to apply to have your team take to help give you some insight on the underlying behavior of the people that you're going to be leading. Remember this: if behaviors don't change, results remain the same. Rob McKinnis, Partner, Director of Sales, Research-Based Solutions. Follow us on LinkedIn. Follow us or subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Look forward to speaking with you again soon.